Hey, what's going on, guys? This video lesson is about the Roman numeral numbering system for chord progressions. Okay, so I just want to give you a basic understanding of how this works. Okay, as with everything in music, this can get deep. There can be a lot of alterations, and jazz and classical and all kinds of stuff can get very, very deep. But I just want to give you a basic understanding of what the Roman numeral system, or what the Roman numeral numbering system is, and how it can be applied to actual playing. Okay, so this video is going to be divided into two parts. Number one, what the Roman numeral numbering system is and how it applies to chord progressions, and then the second part is going to be how you can actually apply this to your playing in live situations and whatnot. Alright, so with that said, let me get to part one. Okay, so without getting too deep into theory here, I just want to give you a simple explanation of how the Roman numeral numbering system for chord progressions works and where it all comes from and how you can actually apply it, okay? So basically the way the numbering system works is you can take any one of your major keys. You have 12 possible major keys, right? And you just look at the notes of that particular scale. So let's use G major, for example. So the notes of G major are G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. Okay, you have 7 notes in a major scale. So that's your G major scale. So your first degree is G, your second degree is A, your third degree is B, fourth is C, fifth is D, sixth is E, and seventh is F sharp. Okay? So if you were to build a chord on each of those degrees, or build a chord from each of those degrees, you would have your 1 chord would be some sort of a G chord, your 2 chord would be some sort of an A chord, your 3 chord would be some sort of a B chord, 4 chord would be some sort of a C, and so on. Alright, now in order to remain completely diatonic to the key, diatonic means that all the notes are contained within the scale. The way that these chords are created is your 1, 4, and 5 chords are always going to be major, and your 2, 3, and 6 chords are always going to be minor. Okay? And then you typically don't use your 7 chord. Now I don't want to confuse you with anything, but just for now, just realize that when we're doing this stuff, doing chord progressions in the key, you only really use the first 6 chords, okay? So don't worry about the 7 chord for now. So you have 3 major chords and you have 3 minor chords. Your 1, 4, 5 are major, and your 2, 3, and 6 are minor. Okay, so the 6 chords that are in the key of G major, completely diatonic to the key of G major, are G major is your 1 chord, A minor is your 2 chord, B minor is your 3 chord, C major is your 4 chord, D major is your 5 chord, and E minor is your 6 chord. Okay, and applying Roman numerals to these numbers, anytime it's a major chord, it gets a uppercase Roman numeral. Every time it's a minor chord, it gets a lowercase Roman numeral. Okay, so that's basically it. So if, for instance, the band says, we want you to play a 1-4-5 in G. Okay, a 1-4-5 in G, that's simple. Your 1 chord is a G major, your 4 chord is a C major, your 5 chord is a D major. So your chord progression is just G, C, D. If the band says, I want you to play a 1-5-6-4 progression in the key of G major. Again, your 1 chord is a G major, your 5 chord is a D major, your 6 chord is an E minor, and your 4 chord is a C major. Alright? So Pretty simple. And as I said, I don't want to get too deep into theory here, but I just want to explain one other thing. So sometimes you'll come across progressions that contain non-diatonic chords. Okay, so the 6 chords that I told you are diatonic. Okay, the 1, 4, 5 are major, the 2, 3, and 6 are minor. Those chords are completely diatonic to the key. Now, if for some reason I decided to make the 4 chord a minor chord instead of a major chord, it's no longer diatonic to the key, but you can still use it if that's what the chord progression is. Okay, so you may see, your band may say, okay, play a 1, 4, and then a minor 4, and then a 1. Okay, so just for example, so that would be telling you to play a G, and then a C, and then a C minor, and then a G. Okay, so you're still in the key of G, but they're just throwing in a non-diatonic chord into that particular progression. And the reason that you knew that is because number 1, you knew you're working in the key of G, and then number 2, it's telling you specifically what to do based on the uppercase or lowercase Roman numerals. All right. So non-diatonic chords are used quite often, okay? That's what gives music, just different types of style and whatnot. So I don't want to get too much deeper into this, but basically that's where the Roman numeral numbering system comes from. So this can be done for any key. Say you wanted to do a 1, 4, 5 in the key of A, okay? So the key of A major, you take your A major scale, you look at your 1 chord, you look at your 4 chord, you look at your 5 chord in the key of A major. Okay, so your 1 chord is an A, your 4 chord is a D, because D is the 4th note of the A major scale. Your 5 chord is an E, because E is the 5th note of the A major scale. And, they're all uppercase Roman numerals, so you know to play all major chords. So your 1, 4, 5 in A is, okay? And if someone wanted to throw a curveball and say, instead of playing the 4 chord, play a minor 4 chord, denoted by a lowercase Roman numeral. Okay, so instead of playing the D major, you play a D minor. Okay, so instead of going, you would go. Okay, so lowercase Roman numerals are minor chords, uppercase Roman numerals are major chords. Each of the numbers represents a scale degree. Okay, so with that said, let me move on to part 2, and you can see how you can actually apply this to your playing. All right. Okay, so this is where this is actually going to be applicable to your actual playing. Okay, once you understand the basic Roman numeral numbering system, this is basically, you can transpose keys now. Okay, so if you're playing a chord progression in the key of D major, for example, say you're playing a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression in the key of D major. Okay, so you know that those chords are. Okay, so say the chord, it sounds like this. Okay, so that's a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression in the key of D major. Now, say you wanted to transpose that progression to the key of C major. All right, so how would you do that? Simple. You look at your C major scale. Your notes in your C major scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And you just apply the Roman numeral numbering system to that. Okay, so your 1 chord in C is a C. Your 5 chord is a G. Your 6 chord is an A minor. Okay, it's lowercase, so it's minor. And then your 4 chord is an F. Alright, so C, G, A minor, F, 1, 5, 6, 4 in C. It's going to sound exactly the same, but it's just going to be in a different key now. It's now in the key of C, so that's going to sound like this. Okay, so this comes in handy anytime you figure out a song or you learn any song or whatever and you want to change it to another key. You just figure out the Roman numeral numbering system for that particular song that you just learned, figure out what Roman numerals it is, and then you just apply the same Roman numeral numbering system to whatever key that you want to transpose the song to, and it's going to have the same sound. The chords are going to move in the same manner, but it's just going to be in a different key. Okay? So that's how this applies to actual playing. Alright, so I tried to keep this as basic as possible because I don't want to confuse anyone. All my lessons on this site, I want it to actually help people to be able to, actually use the stuff rather than just having a bunch of theoretical knowledge. So the whole point of this lesson is to help you be able to transpose keys by knowing how chord progressions move by using the Roman numeral numbering system. Alright, so if I was confusing at all with this lesson, or if you don't understand anything, feel free to ask, and I'll gladly help out. Thanks a lot.